I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Like ours.
And I'm still putting you just like a child. Oh, I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Fantastic. My guests here in the studio are the Stafford brothers, Trayson, JD, and Chaz. They're known as the band TRIPPP. And of course, Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire. Great version of that, guys. I especially love what you did with the mariachi horns. That was
None of us know how to play the trumpet. So.
Okay. Why don't you guys pull that microphone up? There you go. You have to kind of lean into it here. Answer questions here. All right. Well, great version and appropriate as you guys are going to open up the KASU Music Nights at the Johnny Cash Heritage Festival in Dice coming up on Thursday night. You guys playing at 5 o'clock. Just got my standard questions for you, kind of when I'm interviewing musicians, especially members of a band. You know, when I talk about how you guys met and started playing music together, I know how you met. About that. But how did you guys start playing music together?
Well, we went to Visual and Performing Arts Magnet School, and there Elaine Barty was our music teacher, and we took violin in kindergarten at what's the kindergarten? At the Jonesboro Kindergarten Center. And from there, we all played violin for a while. Me and Trayson eventually quit because we just couldn't handle it. But Ellie and Chaz kept playing, and Chaz is just now really picking it back up. Okay. But from there, we just branched off to other instruments at Backbeat Music in Jonesboro. And I learned how to play drums. Trayson learned how to play the bass and the banjo. And then somewhere, Chaz picked up guitar, and we also play, me and Chaz play piano a little bit. But we've been singing together since we came out of
the womb.
The womb. Don't have to get too detailed there, but we love music and we just haven't stopped.
Well, one thing I always ask, especially family bands, is that, okay, is there ever any argument about, hey, I want to play drums. No, I want to be the drummer. No, I want to be the guitar player. No, you have to be the... Is there any conflict about when it comes to getting together and what you're going to do on stage, who's going to play which instrument, especially since you guys play multiple instruments?
Yeah, I think early on we pretty much said, because I fell in love with guitar like when I was really young, so I said, I'm going to be a guitar player. And then John David said, you know, started playing the drums right at the beginning, so I'm going to be the drummer. But then Trayson just started playing all these random instruments he couldn't decide. He just,
Yeah,
he
me
just
and
kept-
Johnny kind of had a throwdown who wanted to play the drums. But he won
Yeah,
that.
I actually forgot about that. He started out on drums. I don't know what I started out on. I can't even remember. But I just, eventually I said, dude, I love it more than you do. You need to play the bass or something. And I kicked him off.
Well, one thing I noticed in the version of Ring of Fire that you guys just sang for me was what incredible harmonies that you guys have together.
And that is all Chaz. He's our harmony guy.
Well, I was going to ask about that. I mean, that's a complicated thing to sit down and figure all of that out. Do you chart it out? Do you arrange it, or does it come naturally?
Well, yeah, we've been singing. We've been doing it for so long now that I think
We can
whenever I
just hear each
say,
other.
"All right, we're gonna sing," this song. I mean, we just kind of pick it out, kind of give them a bass, and then we just take it to just make it our own. So
Yeah.
that's.
Well, we heard you sing Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire, but I know that you guys have a pretty broad spectrum of music that you play. I mean, tell us about some of the musicians who've influenced you and the styles that you play when you're out and doing some of your shows.
Well, growing up, of course, my dad is from small town Mark Tree, born and raised, and he's always been a radio guy, always played country music, and so obviously country music is one of our biggest influences.
Absolutely.
But my mom grew up in Kentucky, and so bluegrass was hers. And
She brought, she introduced us, and her side of the family introduced us to the movie Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which is hilarious because Alison Krauss is going to be at the festival.
Right.
But so we have that whole soundtrack by heart. That's our bluegrass side, and we've slowly started to add some bluegrass to our repertoire. But like, we just all types of music. I mean, rock and roll. She's a big U2 fan, and so I mean, we just have. It's just amazing. We just love music, and if you come see us at our shows, I mean, it's anywhere from Johnny Cash, Chris Stapleton, to Coldplay, to I mean, we just love it, man.
a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
My guests are Trayson, JD, and Chaz Stafford. Collectively, they are the group TRIPPP, and they're going to be opening up the KASU Music Nights Thursday, October 18th in the Dice Colony Circle. They'll be playing at 5 o'clock that evening. Now, I know in addition to covering all these artists that you've mentioned, you have written a few original songs.
We have.
Do you guys each contribute to that, or is there one person who's a little bit more the songwriter than the others?
So,
Yeah.
I guess about 2 years ago, I started just writing stuff down. I'd write down thoughts and ideas, and I wrote about 3 songs, and they were all absolutely horrible. And so for a while, I just gave up. I was like, okay, I'm just not a songwriter. Well, during that time was about the time we decided that we wanted to be a band, because we've sang and played our entire lives, but we've only been taking it serious and pursuing gigs and trying to do something with this for about a year. And Chaz wrote about 4 or 5 songs, and that's what really got us started with writing. And I'd critique, and I'd say, okay, wow, that's horrible. I'm going to write this. And it picked my confidence back up to get back into writing. And we've written about 40 or so songs.
Great.
And
Now, 40 something. Now, most of them aren't good.
no.
But we've written about 40, and we'll play about 3 or so.
3.
But so 3 for 40. That's the good song to bad song ratio. Is
Yeah.
3 to 40.
Well, you
3
know,
to 40.
I've talked to lots of songwriters over the years, and they say, yeah, you're going to throw out much more than
Oh,
you ever actually
absolutely.
share with anybody
But
else.
see, the logic behind that is next year it'll be 6 out of 80. So then we'll have enough to make an E EP.
Well, do you guys have any? I mean, you're high school juniors, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you've got the high school years, and then who knows what happens beyond that. What are you guys thinking long term for the band trip?
We've talked about college. We took a trip to Nashville a couple weeks ago, and we busked on the sidewalk, and we checked out the music scene and all that, and we toured Belmont. And we quickly realized that Belmont is not an option. that's you have to win the lottery.
A little
to
bit
go
out of our
home.
price range, yeah.
Well, when there's 3 of you, yeah, there's something to keep in
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. But I mean, the dream is just to play music. I mean, to do what we love, travel around the country and play. I think realistically, we'll probably stay right here. Jonesboro is a very underrated music scene. I mean, it really is. There's so many great musicians and opportunities, like the Johnny Cash Heritage Festival, just an hour outside. I mean, so the possibilities are endless, and we're just excited to see where this takes us.
Well, you've been to other places. You said you've been kind of taking this pretty seriously for about a year or so now. Tell our listeners about some of the places you've had the opportunity to play and some of the people with whom you've shared the stage.
Just 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, we drove up to Fulton, Kentucky to compete in a talent show at a festival called the Banana Festival. and we actually were fortunate enough to win that competition, and we got to open for the Grammy Award-winning band, the Kentucky Headhunters, and that was absolutely insane. It was crazy. That was the most diverse crowd of people I've ever seen in my entire life.
But I bet your music connected with a group like
when
that.
we played, we ended our set with "Man of Constant Sorrow," and I mean, they lost their minds.
Those Kentucky people.
That's Jenna right there.
He's from Kentucky.
Really?
Are you Kentucky?
Jenna and I went to college together.
Oh.
Mom and I, we've known each other for a long time.
Go Racers.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. All right, so how has playing music together and doing all these things together as brothers kind of brought you closer together personally?
I feel like
closer together may be a overstatement. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
because if typically one of our typical practices are if we don't get in a fight, it's not a good practice.
There's no productivity.
Well, that was actually my next question. I mean, what are the challenges of making music together with people that you can't then let them go to their own homes and that you're stuck together?
Well, I think just try to, because when we go down there, which we typically
have a music room in our basement.
Okay, all right.
When we go down to our little music room to practice, you know, we have a homework and it's high school, you know, all that stuff, and we typically want to say, oh, we don't have to worry about that. But when we go on there, we're just trying to get stuff done, you know, get it done and get it right. And so we're pretty much focused most of the time.
Most of the time. But we love the summer and these few breaks that we get in the winter, Thanksgiving break and Christmas break. I mean, those are big opportunities to just have the most fun with it, where we just have free time to just write and learn new songs. But we're always adding to our set. And but I mean, like she says, it keeps us off the streets, more or less.
Keeps tracing out of trouble.
It keeps the ladies from...
My guests are Trayson, JD, and Chaz Stafford. They are the group TRIPPP, and they're performing Thursday, October the 18th at 5 p.m., kicking off that evening's music at the KASU Music Nights at the Johnny Cash Heritage Festival in Dice. Now, I understand that you guys have actually visited the Johnny Cash boyhood home.
We have.
What were your impressions of being down there in Dice?
Well, we drove down there and we parked in the circle and we walked up to the touring center, and we met a guy. He's the former mayor of the Dice colony, and his name is Larry Sims, and he was a really cool guy. He reminded me of my grandpa, her dad, Jenna's dad. And but we got to spend a lot of quality time with him and go see the Johnny Cash's actual house and see the museum, and I mean, it was really cool. It was a really good experience for us just to see the roots of the music that we're trying to make.
And just to know that all that is an hour away from where we were born and raised is just really cool. And to have that, you know, that whole thing down there to be able to go to and look at and marvel at it is awesome.
What are your plans for your performance at the KASU Music Night at the Johnny Cash Heritage Festival? You got anything special planned?
Well, we do have a special guest.
We do have a special guest. We wanted to get Allison Krause to come play with us, but she wouldn't do it, so we got the next best thing, and that's Vicki McGee. Awesome. Vicki McGee is a local legend around Jonesboro, and she's going to come play a song with us. I'm not going to say what song because it's a surprise.
I thought she said she was going to play some harmonica too.
She is going to play some harmonica for us, so, and that'll give Chaz a chance to hop on the fiddle. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, that'll be great. Why don't you guys close us out with another song here?
You bet.
You want to talk about this one?
Yes. We wrote this song about a week after we saw the Eagles and Chris Stapleton in concert. And those are our two, I mean, I'm going to be honest, those are our two biggest influences. The harmony of the Eagles, the lyrics of Chris Stapleton. I mean, that's what I try to incorporate when I write. That they're so influential on me as a person. But this song reflects all of our influences, all of our outlaw country influences. Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash,
Willie.
All the way to Willie, all the way to Chris Stapleton. But this song is called Can't Do the Time.
Okay.
You want to move this?
Yeah, pull it down about a foot down.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah. If someone's singing lead, kind of lean into it.
Okay.
Harmony, you guys are great, but if someone's singing lead, kind of lead in.
There you go.
All right.
1, 2. see my mama cry. 100 years with no parole. I'm just counting down the days till the day of all claims of my soul. Slept in this cage for 49. Judge said I'd be in here till I died. I caught my girl with another man. Well, I shot him in his soul and I ran. That son of a gun, he bled to death. Now I'm on the run with a bounty on my head. I got caught and went to jail. Now here I am just sitting in a dark and lonesome cell. And I can't do the time. It breaks my heart to see my mom cry. 100 years with no parole. I'm just counting down the days till I never find my soul. I'm supposed to be free, playing country music to the hills of Tennessee. Present life ain't meant for me. I miss my mama and my baby and my beat up on 6 string. And I can't do the time. And it breaks my heart to see my mama cry. 100 years with no parole. I'm just counting down the days till I never find my time, and it breaks my heart to see my mama cry. I'm just counting down the days till I never find my I can't do the time, and it breaks my heart to see my mama cry. 100 years with no parole. I'm just counting down the days. I'm just counting down the days till the devil complains of my soul.
this trip right here at KASU. You guys don't live out your songs, okay? Some of your heroes don't live them out at all. So thank you for that you guys came in and played for us. You gave me a peek at your set list for the Johnny Cash Heritage Festival, KASU Music Nights, and you guys certainly have a crowd-pleasing list, and I hope that after having heard you on the radio today, they'll come down and see you on Thursday night.
Well, we hope so too. Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great time.